Okay. Okay, let's go. So hi guys, this is Chris from DoraHacks, and today we are very happy to have Sachin Tomar, who are the CTO and co-founder of Biconomy. He will be sharing building a superior web3 user experience with us. And before he starts, please allow me to briefly introduce the background of the workshop. Right now, DoraHacks and Polygon are co-hosting the Polygon-Grants Hackathon. You might not know this, but this is actually the very first global Polygon-centric hackathon. And also it is the first Polygon quadratic funding grant where we will all use Matic token as the main voting donation currency. We're really looking forward to all the amazing new projects building on the Polygon network. So without further ado, please let's welcome Sachin to start his workshop. And remember, guys, if you have any questions during the session, please feel free to ask in DoraHacks YouTube and Bilibili chat room. So thanks for joining us today, guys, and feel free to begin when you are ready, Sachin.
Cool. Thank you, Lee. So today I'll be, walking you through about Biconomy's product and how you can actually, build frictionless and superior experience dApps on, Polygon, as well as like other blockchains, we support. But yeah, like to give you a brief about like what Biconomy is, Biconomy is a transaction infrastructure which is allowing dApp developers to make their in-app dApp experience super easy. So we abstract away all the complexities related to blockchain transactions, so that your users does not need to worry about any other complexity that is involved when they are dealing with blockchain-based application. So they don't need to worry about the gas. They don't need to worry about long pending transaction or stuck transactions. I'll show you like how the experience is. So to start with, Biconomy currently has 3 products, and I'll be focusing majorly on 2 of them today in today's workshop. So one is the gasless product that allows you to do gasless transactions, on all supported blockchains, and second product is forward, where it is not a gasless transaction, but in this case, user does not need to pay the gas fees in the native currency of the blockchain. For example, if you're doing transaction on Ethereum, you do not need to pay Ether for your transaction fees, but you can actually pay the transaction fees in ERC20 tokens. So that's that product that enables this feature is called Forward. And we have a third product called Hyphen, that's mainly about the cross-chain transfers, and currently it's live on Ethereum and Polygon. So if you want to move your assets from Ethereum to Polygon or from Polygon to Ethereum, you can use Hyphen to do it instantly, as well as in a very cost-effective way. So I mean, there is an official bridge between Ethereum and Polygon, but that takes some time. From Ethereum to Polygon, it takes around 10 minutes. From Polygon to Ethereum, it takes around 40 minutes to 1 hour. But with Hyphen, it's pretty instant. And when you see it from the point of view of gas, this is also very gas effective or cost effective solution. So I'll be walking you through how you can actually integrate gasless product in your application, as well as how you can leverage Hyphen to do these cross-chain transfer, or build some other use case on top of Hyphen. So it also has a SDK for developers, using which they can build other use cases using Hyphen. So let's start with the gasless product. So gasless, in order to integrate gasless product, we have the first step that user needs to do is go to our dashboard, so which is dashboard.biconomy.io. you register here, verify your email, you log in, and then after you log in, you will have option to create applications here or dApps on these supported network. So these are the networks which Biconomy support right now, and you can choose. Matic mainnet is open, Binance mainnet is open, but Ethereum mainnet is closed. So if you are building something on Ethereum, do reach out. We'll give the access to Ethereum mainnet. But yeah, apart from Ethereum mainnet, all other mainnets are open to build. Anyone can just register free of cost, choose any network, and once you, for example, uh, uh, I'll show you. Let me open one Matic mainnet app. So let me open this hyphen mainnet, for example. So once you open this dApp on dashboard, you will have option to upload your smart contracts. So you will give any name, put your smart contract address, put your ABI, and then the meta transaction type. I'll explain in a few minutes like what are these. And then once your smart contract is uploaded on the dashboard, you can actually go to manage API section, new API, your smart contracts will be here, and then you can actually select the method of your smart contract on which you want to enable the gasless transactions. So this kind of granular control you can actually have while integrating this gasless product. So once let's say you want to enable gasless transaction on deposit method of USDC, you can do that, and give any name, click add, and you can add like multiple methods here. So and then once you are once you have added the methods, you can click save to persist them in our database. So these are all the basic steps you have to take, and once that is done, on the dashboard you will get on the dApp details page, you will get this API key, which you will use in your client side integration. Like during the integration, you will need this API key. So like on the dashboard, that's pretty much it. There are some meta transaction limits you can actually apply on your dApp level. Like if you want to restrict your users to let's say use the gasless feature up like until certain limits only, that also you can apply here. For example, here the dApp limit is like 10 matic. So on the overall dApp, this dApp, I am actually allowing only 10 matic to be spent in the gasless transactions, and so that allows me to put a budget on how much, being a dev developer, I want to spend on the gas on behalf of my users. So these are the limits you can set, and dashboard part is done. You will get an API key, and then you will move on to client side integration. So before we move on to client side integration, like if you are enabling gasless transaction, there are multiple methods using which you can do that. There is a custom implementation which will you can enable the smart contract support, sorry, meta transaction support in your smart contract. So in order for gasless transactions to work, you have your smart contract should be meta transaction compatible also, and there are multiple ways to do that. In the custom implementation, you will write some sort of custom logic in your smart contract to enable the meta transaction support. And usually to make your smart contract meta transaction compatible, what you need to do is you need to get rid of parameters like message.sender. You should not use this in your smart contract, and message.data, as well as message.value. So if any of these are being used in your business logic, meta transaction won't work. So and there are like multiple ways to get rid of the dependency on these parameters. One is like the custom way. So in the custom implementation, what you need to do is you can just go to the documentation and come to smart contract changes. There are two smart contracts which we have already written. You can just click on this and open the GitHub repository and check the code. So all you need to do is inherit any of these smart contract, in your smart contract. And whenever you are using message.sender, just replace it with the method message sender that is available in these smart contracts. And your contract would be meta transaction compatible. So you just need to do this in case of custom implementation. But if you are building like new smart contract, or you have not used custom implementation, we would recommend you go ahead with this approach of enabling meta transactions. So this is more standard approach. I would say there is an EIP especially for this. So you can check out EIP 2771. All the smart contracts are already audited. So in this case, what you need to do is there is a base relay recipient, smart contract, uh, and that is you can use OpenGSense implementation. You can use OpenZeppelin implementation also. So you just inherit the base relay recipient in your smart contract, and there is a trusted forwarder field which you need to initialize. So I'll tell you about this smart contract in a moment. But yeah, just inherit this base relay recipient, initialize this trusted forwarder with an address, which I'll tell you where to get this. And this is just a versioning method. You just need to override this because it's a virtual method in this. And you can return like any value. Just it's basically for versioning. It is not used for any business logic. And the second thing is, instead of message.sender, in this case, you just use the underscore message sender method, and that's it. uh, that way your smart contract is now meta transaction compatible. uh, and now uh, I'll tell you like how the actual transaction will flow in this case. So this is your smart contract where you have actually inherit this base relay recipient, and replace the message.sender with underscore message sender. And then there is a trusted forwarder. This is already deployed smart contract. If you want to, like, we have already deployed this contract on all supported network. So if you want to see like the address of trusted forwarder on a particular network, just go to the contract addresses section. There, go to EIP 2771 contract, and you can see the different Biconomy forwarder addresses for each supported network. So from here you can get this value. And yeah, the flow would be you would be sending the transaction to Biconomy infrastructure, and Biconomy will be crafting a transaction, and choose one of the relayer which will send the transaction to the blockchain. Now transaction will directly go to trusted forwarder first, and then there will be some sort of signature verification. There is a logic for replay attacks, and it just append the user address after this signature verification in the call data, and then your smart contract will be called. So all this happens like behind the scenes. You do not need to worry about any of this implementation. And then that's how EIP 2771 meta transactions, that's how flow is on the blockchain. Eventually your business logic will be executed, and it will be executed in the same way if user directly interacts with the smart contract. Just in this case, it's a gasless. User does not need to worry about the gas fees and all, and it makes the user experience pretty slick and very easy. So on the smart contract side, these are the changes which you need to do. And let's move to the client side part. So we have a SDK called Mexa SDK that's used to integrate on the client side to enable this gasless transaction. So it works on front end also. It works on the back end. If you have some back end application, there also this SDK works. So all you need to do is just you do npm install Biconomy Mexa, initialize the SDK, just import like this, initialize the Biconomy object. So this is the Web3 provider object which you'll need to pass. These are the API key which you will get from the dashboard. So from the dashboard, this is a section to get the API key, and yeah, just pass that API key over here. Put debug true to check the debug logs, and this is the Web3 provider object which you will get from your connected wallet. And yeah, once you get the Biconomy object, just treat this object as a Web3 provider object. So it's a wrapper around, existing Web3 provider object you get from the wallet, and you can pass it in the Web3 object if you're using Web3. If you're using ethers, this is the way you can just use, ethers, library with Biconomy. And once you have initialized Biconomy, you will just wait for this event. You can just start these listeners. So once Biconomy SDK is ready, you will get this callback, and now you can actually initialize your dApp here and do everything you want to do in do transactions after this. So this is like this is like done, and then rest of the smart contract logic, like the way you are calling your transaction, it remains same. You don't need to change anything on that. That's the the best part here. And just like your contract instances, you initialize your contract instance and you just call, let's say there's a set code method, you just call this method, and then you can just actually pass different parameters, like which signature you want to take from the user. By default, Biconomy SDK asks for the personal signature. You can pass these options if you want to take EIP 712 type signature from the user. And once you have sent the transaction, this is the same way you have been listening to transaction hash for the confirmation. This does not change in any way. All you need to do is, while creating these ethers provider or Web3, just pass Biconomy object as a Web3 provider object. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. I'll show you one demo also, like how it's done. I have, so there is a repository called, Meta Transaction Standard repository. This is an open, you can go and check out the code. And in this repository, there is a branch called Playground. It has like, code related to all the, use cases you can actually implement using gasless transaction, using Web3 JS, also using ethers.js also. And there are like other combination, for example, personal signature, EIP 712 signatures. And then if you want to use, a front-end integration with any wallets, or back-end integration, if you just have a private key and you want to send transactions without having any native currency in that private key, that also you can do. So just check out the code. I have already checked out the code here, and I'll just start this project. Meta Transaction Standard. I am on the Playground branch, so just install the dependencies and just do npm run start. Okay. This is so further we need to go in the example React UI. This is where the UI code is there. So I'll just do npm run start, and this is the interface which you will get. So this example application is based on a smart contract that just store a code, a string, any string. A user can just put any string on the blockchain, and the user should be able to do it in a gasless way. That's what we'll show you here. So if you see on the left side, you can see different combination of use cases. If you're using Web3 library and you are going with the custom implementation, and you want to use EIP 712 sign, just go in this section. I'll show you like both. This is like using Web3. Now this is the custom implementation I am using, but I will just show you the EIP 2771 implementation. This is something we recommend you to use this approach if you want to enable meta transaction support on your smart contract. Let it load. Let it initialize Biconomy, and it's getting data from smart contract. This is a this value is fetched from a smart contract, and it says like you are not the owner of this code because someone else has done this transaction. So let's say if I use any code and I click submit with EIP 712 sign. So since my wallet is connected, it will ask me EIP 712 type signature. So from my wallet, I don't need to send any transaction and pay for the gas fees. I just need to sign this, message. So if you are seeing, this is going to a smart contract called Biconomy Forwarder, which Biconomy will be sending transaction to this. I just need to sign this. So once I sign this, transaction to buy. Let me open the console if you just want to see. Something happened, but I think transaction went. Maybe okay, sending me the transaction. Okay. I think this is the transaction hash which we got. So this is on Cover network right now. It works on any smart contract. Let me see if it has sent. Okay, maybe there's some internet connection. Let's try again. Let me clear this. Submit with the IP 712 sign, sending meta transaction, getting the signatures. I have given the signature. EPA does not exist. Please check. Okay, let me reload this. Initializing Biconomy. Let's wait. Okay, and we were in the EIP 2771 approach. Let's load this component. Okay, cool. Let me submit this. This will ask me the EIP 712 signature. I'll sign this. Now transaction is actually being sent to Biconomy infrastructure, where relayers, are being chosen, and they are sending the transaction to the blockchain. And we have the transaction hash now. So we can actually track this transaction hash on the Coven network. And if you see the transaction is successful, I can see this quote on the smart contract. If I open the Explorer and see the transaction, it will be reflected in a while. Let's wait for the Explorer to reflect this transaction. So just to verify some certain things, and I didn't I'm not sure if you noticed that we are not actually on the core network at all. The good thing is you don't need to present on that particular network. You can literally be on any blockchain, and your application can actually be on any other blockchain, and still these meta transaction would work, because all we need from the user wallet is the signature, and signature is not something that is very specific to a blockchain. So I can just be on any network, and I can do the transaction on whatever network the DApp actually is. That's the best part. So you can see the transaction is confirmed on Ethereum, and this is my address 7F3B. But if you see the from address, this is not my address, because this was sent by the Biconomy relayer. So these are Biconomy relayers address, and whatever transaction fee is being paid, this address has actually paid, and I have not paid these gas fees. So, and whatever that these gas fees, the developer of the application is actually covering these gas fees for the users. And one more thing I wanted to show, that this is the contract to which it is it actually interacted, F829. But if you see my smart contract, my DApp smart contract is not this address, because I showed you the meta transaction flow. In case of EIP 2771, the transaction first lands on trusted forwarder, then it lands to your smart contract. So this is the trusted forwarder address, to where the transaction is going. And if you see the internal transaction from this to this address, there is another, internal transaction. So this is actually my, DApp smart contract, and internally it has called this. But the overall logic was executed, in a normal way, and I can see these value reflected over here. So this is the flow. You can enable in your app also, and even even if I don't have any native currency, of course, like I'm not even on Coven, so it doesn't matter whether you have any that blockchain currency or not. You can just do any gasless transaction on all the supported networks, and every network integration is in the same way, the way I just showed you. I'll just quickly show you the code also, how I did it. So this was with 3 EIP 2771 and EIP 712 sign. So here, if you see, this is a React based application. So in case you want to enable this network agnostic transaction, in the case where you don't worry about the network which the wallet is pointing to, there is the way to initialize Biconomy in a different way. So as mentioned in the docs, you will just import Biconomy like this, and then you will initialize the Biconomy. You will create a new instance. This is the provider object which you want to pass. So the point here is this provider object needs to point to the blockchain where your application is. So since our application is on Coven network, I can just create a normal HTTP provider pointing to Coven, and pass that provider to Biconomy. And we have the API key over here, debug true. And the catch over here is you can just pass another wallet provider that you will get from the connected wallet. So here I'm using MetaMask, so I'm using window.ethereum. So what Biconomy will do is, when it comes to do a transaction, and when it comes to taking signature, Biconomy will use this provider to get the signature, and Biconomy will use this provider to fetch any blockchain related information. If you want to fetch, for example, chain ID, and if you want to like read some state on the blockchain. So this will only be used for the reading purposes by Biconomy SDK. This wallet provider will be used to take signature from the user, and it will just send the transaction to Biconomy infrastructure, where it will just get the transaction hash. So if you see, I just initialized this Web3 using Biconomy, and when Biconomy ready event is there, I have just initialized the contract in a normal way using the 3 object. And if you see the on submit, I'm just calling this contract.method.set code. This is my method I want to call. I'm just sending this transaction, and this is the normal way I listen for any blockchain transaction. So if you want to take reference, you can just go to this meta transaction standard repository, go to playground branch, and check out these different component. You can see all the different combination for reference purposes. So and so this is it for the gasless product. You can, if you don't want to use the SDK, we also have these meta transaction APIs which you can just call. And in order to call the API, you will need to prepare these parameters, mainly this parameters. And there are example snippet which you can go through. If you just want to call the API, don't want to use the SDK, you can also do it. There are some helper libraries we have built in order for you to get the signatures for example from the user easily, so that you don't have to write these extra codes. And Web3, whether you use Web3 or ethers, like both are supported, you can actually go through these snippets. So this is it, for the gasless product. And in the documentation, the network agnostic transaction, which I just showed you, where it doesn't matter where the wallet is pointing to. There is a documentation here also. You can just go through it, where you will just pass the wallet provider, and rest of the it remains same, right? Now let's move to Hyphen. Earlier, Lee, just inform me if there are some any doubts, from any of the people who are watching this, and feel free to disturb me in the middle. So yeah, let's talk about Hyphen now. Hyphen, as I earlier told you, allows you to seamlessly transfer assets from one chain to another. So we have actually built this user interface for anyone who wants to use the Hyphen. And this is also built for developers also. So if you want to enable this interaction in your application, you can also do it. I'll just tell you how the SDK can be used. So in this case, let me move some Ethereum, from Ethereum to Polygon, for example. So Hyphen, let it initialize. So Hyphen supports USDC, USDT, and Ether right now. Let's say I want to move my Ether, from from Ethereum to Polygon, actually. Okay, so I have like 7.2 Ether in my account. This is the minimum I can do. This is a max I can do. Let me do 0.1 Ether. So this is the fee it will cut from my transfer, just to provide this instant transfer and the cost effective. This is a liquidity provider fee. 0.1% is deducted, and on the Polygon there is no transaction fee if you are going from Ethereum to Polygon, because on Polygon fees is very low. And since Biconomy is running this interface, we have actually subsidized the gas fees on Polygon. So you don't need to do any transaction fee over here. This is the amount of Ether I will get on the Polygon. So let me do this transfer just to show you how it works. It will show me this, since this is the Ethereum transaction. So I just need to do a deposit transaction on Ethereum. And let me see what the gas price currently is in the market. Okay, it's pretty high. Let me set high is 103. Let me set 110 gigaV, for example. And my transaction has been sent to the network. So now you can see it's pretty intuitive UI. Just my transaction is sent. Now it's waiting for confirmation. My transaction has succeeded. Now it's waiting for the transfer to be done on Polygon. So now this will be done by the executor nodes which Biconomy is running. So you can see the transfer is already initiated. My Ether on Polygon are on my way to my wallet. And let's wait for the confirmation of this transaction. If you want to see, you can just see it on the Explorer also. The transaction has been initiated, and it will be done soon. Okay, it is confirmed. If you want to see, you can see the details that the transfer is completed in 31 seconds. I deposited 0.2 Ether. I got this much amount of Ether. And just to verify it on chain, let's see this transaction. Okay, I got the wrapped Ether on Polygon. So this is the amount which I got. So you see, using Hyphen, it's pretty instant. If I were to do this deposit via Matic, via Polygon official bridge, it would have taken like 10 minutes for my funds to show up. Of course, like you would get 0.02 Ether over there in the using Polygon bridge. But here, since it's pretty instant, and there are liquidity that is being used instantly to enable this transfer, just this 0.1% fee is paid. So if you don't worry about this 0.1% fee and you want your funds to quickly, move across chain, you can use Hyphen. If you don't want to pay any fee and you are ready to wait, I would suggest you use official, Polygon bridge to do that. Now this is how it works. Now let's come back to the documentation and see how you can actually enable, this transaction, this cross-chain transfer or Hyphen in your application. So how it works, I just told you, I just deposited my tokens on Ethereum. The transaction is actually being listened by these off-chain executor nodes, which we are running. Once they see, okay, there is a deposit transaction on Ethereum, they will instantly initiate a transaction on Polygon, where I'll get the corresponding amount of tokens on it on Polygon, and my transaction is successful. Now we have a Hyphen SDK that you can use in the same way. So the good part here in using Hyphen is you are not at all interacting with any hosted services to enable this cross-chain transfer. All you need to do is, let's say if you're going from Polygon to Ethereum, all you need to do is interact with our liquidity pool manager contracts on Polygon. Just deposit your funds on the smart contract. You can just directly interact with that contract by yourself. You don't need any SDK to do that. And like everything else will happen behind the scenes. Executors will see the deposit transaction. They will know that what is the destination chain, what is the token you are transferring, how much amount, and they will release the corresponding amount of funds on the destination chain. But if you are creating some sort of UI in your application for your users to see, it is recommended you use the SDK to make all these actions easy to integrate. So you can just install the Hyphen SDK via npm or using yarn package. After installation, you can just import the Hyphen like this, and similar to how you initiate Mexa SDK earlier for gasless transaction, you can actually instantiate Hyphen in a similar way. New Hyphen, you just pass the provider object, you get from your wallet, just pass the debug. If you are if you want to test it on test environment, just pass the environment as test. So it will it will do the transaction on Mumbai and Goerli. So Mumbai and Goerli are the test network which we support. And there's a callback method on fund transferred, which will be called automatically by the SDK once that cross-chain transfer is completed. So you see, using SDK, it's pretty easy to listen to all these events. Like you can check the status of your cross-chain transfer, like where it is, whether it has reached the destination chain or not. So all these sort of things can be done via the SDK. And once that is done, when Hyphen is done, you can use init method just to initialize the SDK. Just wait for it, and that's it. Now the SDK is initialized. Now it's time to do the cross-chain transfer. So, like as I mentioned, like you just have to deposit your assets into a smart contract, right? There's a called deposit method. If you are doing an ERC20 token, of course, you have to give some approval to that smart contract, and then you will call the deposit method. So there are some pre-checks that you can do via the SDK. It has a pre-deposit status method. Just pass the token address, the amount from chain ID to chain ID, and the user address. SDK will check whether the approvals has been given or not, whether there is enough liquidity on the destination chain for the transfer to happen or not. So these sort of pre-checks will be done by the SDK, and you will get the status. You can do all these checks. If the response code is like okay, you can proceed to do the deposit transaction. If allowance is not given, you will get this response code. Then you will just call the approve ERC20 method of the SDK to give the token approval. And like these are all other error handling you can do. Once the check is passed, when pre-check is passed, you can actually call the deposit method in the -SDK. Just give the sender address, receiver address. So sender and receiver address can be different. If you want to receive funds on the destination chain on some other address, you can mention the receiver address. And token address you can pass. Deposit contract address is the liquidity pool manager contracts which we have deployed over here. This also you can actually get from the SDK. Amount from chain ID to chain ID. And this is an optional parameter. If you want to enable gasless transactions on these deposit transaction also, you can use like hyphen internally also use by Mexa SDK for gasless transaction. So if you just want to enable gasless deposits also in hyphen, you can just pass this use Biconomy flag true. And using to use the Biconomy in the constructor, you have to pass these extra parameters. I'll not go deep into this, but you can check out this section later if you want to use Biconomy gasless transaction also in hyphen. But these are optional. You can just pass these. Hyphen will initiate a transaction in user's wallet, where user will pay the gas fees, do the deposit. And now if in the while initializing hyphen, if you pass this callback method, you would get the callback here once the transaction is completed. But if you don't want to do this in a callback way, there are some helper methods in the SDK which you can use to listen for these cross-chain transactions. So as I mentioned, either in the constructor you pass this callback method, or there is a check deposit status method in hyphen which you can call, and you just give the deposit hash and from chain ID where you have done the deposit. It will send you it will give you a response whether it is successfully done or not, the cross-chain transfer, and whether the transfer is the cross-chain transfer is actually confirmed or not. If it has been initiated and it is still processing, you will get this response status code. And if it is initiated and is already confirmed transaction, you will get this status code. And in the response object, you can get all the fields, like how much token amount it has received after deducting the fee, and these other parameters you can see. And you can show this information on your UI if you want to integrate hyphen in your application UI. So this helper method you can do. And there might be certain cases where these executor off-chain executor might miss out on your deposit transaction, and maybe they does not initiate a transaction on the destination chain for some time. So there is a helper method in the SDK. You can actually manually trigger this transfer if for some cases this has been skipped. You just pass the deposit hash from chain ID, and if transaction has not been done on the destination chain, it will be initiated. You will not use this method very frequently, but just in case of error handling, you can use this method. So yeah, this way you can use hyphen in your application also. Contract addresses you can check, like we have testnet on Mumbai and Goerli, our liquidity pool manager smart contract addresses, as well as on the mainnet, Ethereum and Polygon. And yeah, that's it. If you have any doubts, I'm sure likely do we have any sort we must be having any Discord channel, right, where people can ask their queries? Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is all I wanted to show. Go to docs.biconomy.io, see the documentation. On the Discord also, you can just go to Biconomy Discord channel. It has different gasless support channel. if you want to ask any queries related to Hyphen, there's Hyphen support, there's a gasless support, and there's a general support also. So anytime you can actually reach out here. We will be ready to support you guys.
Yeah, that would be great. And I guess right, we could do a short Q&A part to see if audience wants to ask something about your project. So let me check. Okay, I don't see too much questions pump up, but I actually have a questions because when I trying to like understand more about the Biconomy project, I see that I see that there are some news mention you are the Binance, but Biconomy is planning to launch a protocol called the Mexa. Yeah, do you want to like introduce a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So all these products which I told you, they are operating in a centralized environment. Even in case of Hyphen, you see these off-chain executor nodes. This is something being done by Biconomy only. So right now, these are running in a centralized environment, and the next thing which we are aiming to do with our Mexa protocol is actually to decentralize these products, and that protocol will mainly be about opening up all these products and making it in a decentralized way, so that more people can join this network, and more people can actually build out different use cases. So it's in like the token, we recently completed the Biconomy token round. Public sale will be coming soon, and that token will actually be used to build that protocol. It will be a binding factor for that decentralized protocol. The white paper is actually work in progress right now, which should be out soon, once we have finalized some final things. And yeah, but like after that it will be open to all, and we'll be building out the protocol. The test net we are expecting by next year Q1, and yeah, that's the roadmap for us going forward.
Yeah, that's exciting and good luck with it. And
Yeah.
also, another questions will be because we all know that the Polygon has its official bridge with Ethereum. And yeah, and through my understanding, what Biconomy is trying to do is a little bit similar to the bridge, and I want to ask, compare with their official bridge, what will be the comparative advantage for user to using Biconomy instead of using Polygon's official bridge? Yeah.
So yeah. So as I earlier mentioned, there are two things which needs to be considered while doing these cross-chain transfers. One is the time it takes for you to have the funds across chain, and the cost you have to put in order to do these cross-chain transfers. So in both of the scenarios, Hyphen is a better bridge to use instead of the official Polygon bridge, because you know in terms of time factor, as just saw, like the transaction was completed within seconds. But if you were to use a Polygon official bridge to do the same transfer, you would have to wait like at least 10 minutes from Ethereum to Polygon, and at least 45 minutes to 1 hour from Polygon to Ethereum. So if you just want instant transfers, use Hyphen. Also, in terms of cost, I also did a comparison with the Polygon official bridge and Hyphen. So Hyphen actually came out to be 2 times better than official bridge. So this is a comparison I did. if I wanted to move my funds from a Polygon to Ethereum, $67 was the fees which I need to do, which I need to spend from my
Mhm.
wallet. But if you were to do it using Hyphen, it was around $30. And this fees is actually the Ethereum transaction fee, which user needs to do. Or in case of Hyphen, executors are doing these transaction on the destination chain, but of course there will be fee associated, with it. So that transaction fee is actually deducting from the funds that user is, actually transferring. So here, all you need to, pay is this fees once, and your funds will be on the destination chain. If you are using Polygon Bridge, first you have to make a deposit transaction on Polygon. First of all, you have to have Matic token in your wallet to make the transaction on Polygon. That's one friction point if you're using official bridge. And then you have to wait for 45 minutes and then do another claim transaction on Ethereum to get your funds back in your wallet, if you're using official bridge. And that transaction, that claim transaction would cost you $67 in this case. But same transaction, would cost you around 30 dollar if you're using Hyphen. So this is a comparison, which I did. uh, but the only thing is, you will, if you're using official bridge, you will get all the funds as it is from one chain to another. But of course, this is the fees which you will have to pay. But on Hyphen, there is 0.1% liquidity provider fee that will be deducted also, apart from all the layer one transaction fees. So this is the only thing. If you don't want to pay any extra 0.1% fee from the amount you are transferring, go for Polygon official bridge. Just if you are not worried about waiting for 45 minutes at all, and but if you are okay with that 0.1% fee and you want instant transfers, use Hyphen.
Gotcha. Yeah, this is like a very clear comparison, and thanks for sharing this. Let me check if I don't see more questions coming up. So we could end up here for today. And we appreciate your amazing workshop today. It is really useful, at least to me, it is really useful to understand what Biconomy is doing right now. And maybe I will try Biconomy transfer from my assets from Ethereum to Polygon.
Sure.
And for all the audience, thanks for attending as well. And please, if you have interest for Biconomy, feel free to join the Discord or any other social media to engage with the team. I believe they will be happy to answer any questions from you guys. And